boost the testosterone with herbs. Oh, damn. My ancestors are in disbelief at how. Oh, shit. Oh my God, it feels amazing. Out there, I had to get more of it. I had to spend a little time sort of touching grass and touching sky. Namaskaram. Reverence of the four elements. Asil, hi. Sean O'Leary said hi. Hi. Namaskaram, namaskaram, namaskaram. Now that we are back and YouTube streaming, thought I could read a little bit more now that we're staying cool, right? Staying cool. The ideal of love for God and service to humanity. Do you understand the ideal of love for God? Is that an ideal? Loving? What does that even mean, love for God? Is that a real practical ideal? What is that? Oh no, my book came unbound. Unbound. Hello, fellow lotuses. Since God has given me all I need, I will know Him first, and then use His counsel to desire and do only what He wills. Since God has given me all that I need, I will know Him first, and then use His counsel to desire and to do only what He wills. Yeah, this guy taught that we should really, it would be super awesome if we practice sitting still. It doesn't really matter. It matters that what I say, right? Like if I say I'll practice. Mantra japa. Mantra japa. This is a good one. Ready? Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesh is a good one to open up with. If you want to start studying the Indian gods, Ganesh is the one to go with first. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Okay, Google, give me a story about Ganesha. Okay, Google, give me a. Oh, here we go.
Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, was known for his wisdom and love of sweets. One day, a mischievous mouse named Mushika decided to play a trick on him. Mushika, with his quick wit and tiny paws, snuck into Ganesha's temple and nibbled on all the modaks, Ganesha's favorite sweet. When Ganesha discovered the empty sweet platter, he let out a gentle rumble. He knew exactly who the culprit was. With a twinkle in his eye, he called out, Mushika, my dear friend, I know you enjoyed my modaks, but next time, please ask. Mushika, feeling a pang of guilt, scurried out, his whiskers twitching. Ganesha, instead of being angry, simply smiled. He knew that even small creatures could teach us lessons. From that day on, Mushika became Ganesha's loyal Vahan, mount, carrying him on many adventures, always with a fresh modak waiting for his kind-hearted friend.
Say that again. Oh, so sweet.
Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, was known for his wisdom and love of sweets. One day, a mischievous mouse named Mushika decided to play a trick on him. Mushika, with his quick wit and tiny paws, snuck into Ganesha's temple and nibbled on all the modaks, Ganesha's favorite sweet. When Ganesha discovered the empty sweet platter, he let out a gentle rumble. He knew exactly who the culprit was. With a twinkle in his eye, he called out, Mushika, my dear friend, I know you enjoyed my modaks.
But next time, please ask. And then that kindness turned into a lifelong friendship. A simple kindness can turn into a lifelong, awesome companionship, like partnership, even. It's a good one to remember. Got for us guys that like to analyze. I like to analyze how I'm perceived in the world because I have a hole. I have a hole. A hole in my head, a hole in my heart. A hole in my head, a hole in my heart. Oh, my hold is secure, for I behold holes as the way. How far do you go to hold up a fence between you and your neighbor? How far do you go with this American culture? Like, how do we take this? I'm autistic. I need clear guidance. How seriously should I be taking the fence between me and my neighbor? I don't understand this culture. Please advise. I'm in a spiritual dilemma. Old ailing lady across the fence on this side. Father, mother, sister, brother on this side. Figures, are they heroes or are they villains on this side? All kinds of animals and living and dead beings on that side. I'm not sure how deeply to go into the jungle to find what should I be finding? People call oil precious. People call chocolate. Hey, chocolate tree. Hey, chocolate. People have people who bring them chocolate. I'm one of those people. I don't understand this culture at all. How friendly do I become with my chocolate monger? Because I mean, it's intimate to me. I feel very sensitized to My friends, cheers. Crumbly Wig 420. Cheers. Navigating my day. It's Friday, the day out of time. We navigators. Navigating existence without a calendar. There is no time. It's a day outside of time. According to the Mayan calendar, the galactic calendars, today's the day of the transition day between the old calendar ended yesterday and the new calendar starts tomorrow. This energetic, we tap into these. Oh, look. We see a difference between the light and the shadow, but no one sees the same exact light frequencies the way you see them. Rainbow people. I don't know, I had a vision this morning of how I keep time. Maybe everybody on the planet did. Did you have a vision of how you keep time? Or was that just me? I wish I had stuff to say that sounded. I like to read this little metaphysical meditations. Awaken me, O Heavenly Father, that I may arise from the confining tomb of flesh into the consciousness of my cosmic body. Awaken me, O Heavenly Father, that I may arise from the confining tomb of flesh into the consciousness of my cosmic body. Damn. And just like that, I'm enlightened. That was fast. Shout outs to the chatters. What would I be looking at my phone screen for? I'd be talking to myself. Hey YouTube, you know what you did for me? Hey YouTube, you know what you did for me? I'll tell you, YouTube. I'm telling you what your thing is. You're doing good, YouTube. Because how you're doing good, how I see what you're doing for me, and what you're doing good, how I see what you're doing for me and what you're doing good, YouTube. You're not a website anymore, are you? You've expanded. You're an app. You're an app now. You're a real app now. Only fake people use apps. Real people still just call up people. But I'm a fake person. I use YouTube. I'm one of the befuddled masses. And yet I tell you clearly, YouTube. We out here feeling connected to other people. Welcome to the Buchanan. This is my space. It's alive. I'm not AI. It's alive. This space is AI. I'm a human being. I'm illustrating to you. Look at that molecule over there. That's artificially intelligently being tracked. YouTube is tracking it so that I could tell you its position in the Buchanan kitchen. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's an operating system for the new digitally infused poopers. If it shits, it's alive. So true. So too am I a pooper. It's not cyberspace, it's cyber poop space. It's a critical evolution that just happened. It's no longer cyberspace. It's now cyber poo space. You poops!
Guess what? The US may have just caught another CCP spy.
You
YouTube is
poops!
finally
YouTube!
taking on Chinese influence campaigns, and the EU is sanctioning Beijing. Guess what? The US may have just caught another CCP spy.
You guys didn't want to hear the news?
YouTube is finally taking on Chinese influence campaigns.
YouTube is finally taking on Chinese influencing campaigns. Finally! So, I'm doing campaigning. I told people yesterday about how crazy I am about the void. And nobody understood. So I've completely redesigned my messaging. We're no longer going to talk about my love affair with the void. We're only going to talk about the AI and how it can track atoms, molecules. People are fixated about this stuff, and I'm not getting involved. People are really so if I'm not speaking to everybody. I know that I can't. I'm imagining a specific audience. If you need to be tracked by technology, I get it. I get it. We used to look up at the stars, talk about the constellations. Stars are still there. Everyone's more ready to talk about the space between them, I think. Oh no, I've said too much. Haven't said enough. Chloe Franco, hi. That's a nice name. I thought that I heard you making cricket noises. Well, yeah, I don't expect there would be too much of an audience for AI's invisible token generators. But if I don't remind you that the divergence between human mythology and your own personal mythology can be appreciated in this space. This is why I do these things. Invisible molecules floating around. No one sees the connection. It's great. You buy a bunch of wildflower seeds and you cast them on the ground and you have no clue what colors are going to pop up where. No clue. So I say, enter the matrix. Make it a great void. Oh my God, he's talking crazy talk. Yeah, I still want to disappear into the infinite. should talk less. Smoke some weed.
And the EU is sanctioning Beijing over supporting Russia.
You get the news when you come into my stream. Sometimes you just get the news. You don't get my charming
Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. For a while now,
chatter.
I've been telling you about YouTube's censorship of our channel and others critical of the Chinese Communist Party, all while they promote pro-CCP channels. Well, that's changed. Not the censorship of the show. China Uncensored still doesn't autocomplete in the search bar. But YouTube has wiped out thousands of propaganda channels linked to China, Russia, and other countries. On Monday,
Autocomplete
the removal of nearly
in the search bar.
11,000 YouTube channels and other accounts tied
I'm restarting my
to
stream.
state-linked propaganda campaigns, including 7,700 CCP-linked YouTube channels. I need to schedule a visit with my dentist because I might get a cavity over how sweet this is. But those...
Yo, thank you. Thank you for staying sane. Thank you for playing the human game. He's coming inside, you guys. He's asked to come inside. This is actually... Yeah, which one are you? Which one are you? You're one of those ancient gods, I'm sure of it. Straight fresh from the void, huh? You don't even know you're on the earth plane with me now. Hi. I got you, buddy. No soft food, though. Just hard food. Come on. You must be hungry. Squish it. Squish it. Squish it. Squish it, boy. Where'd he do? Where'd he go? Oh, you found some food? What's the hard food? Life is hard sometimes. Meh. I'm having a good day. How are you? It says I have two. I wonder sometimes when my family will find me. The scandalous. What would happen? Yeah. It's a cloudy day. I was expecting a little rain this morning from the forecast. Forecast man. Whoa, we're getting some wind though. We're getting some gusts. I think I'm ready to I'm adjusting. What am I adjusting? Um, Sat down on the phone. I don't know if anybody's tried calling me. Guess not. I don't know if it would tell me if they did. Does anybody know? I think it does interrupt the stream when I've gotten a call.
Those are just the accounts they've removed in their second quarter. Linked propaganda campaigns, including on Monday, Google announced the removal of nearly 11,000 YouTube channels and other accounts tied to state-linked propaganda campaigns, including 7,700 CCP-linked YouTube channels. Ooh, I'm going to need to schedule a visit with my dentist because I might get a cavity over how sweet this is. But those are just the accounts that they've removed in their second quarter. Google's threat analysis group also deleted more than 23,000 YouTube channels in the first quarter, of which more than 15,000 were related to China. Hopefully this means YouTube has changed its colors. The algorithm will stop suppressing our channel and others like it. The beautiful, gorgeous, all-wise algorithm that I'm not trying to butter up at all. Severe storms have hit southern China in the wake of Typhoon Wifa. And when I say severe, I mean severe. Hong Kong issued its highest storm warning as the typhoon approached, a T10, although it was later downgraded to a mere T8. The typhoon swept in from the sea and dramatically made landfall in Guangdong, pounding the area with heavy rain and some pretty crazy wind. I hope this guy ended up okay. Chinese media is warning of floods, landslides, and downed trees, and advising the public to be vigilant.
He's still soft.
Hopefully, top communist officials don't choose to redirect floodwaters from major cities to where the poors live, like they've done in the past. Speaking of people getting screwed, yes, that's the transition I went with. Great British Energy solar panels actually were made in China, following the age-old British imperial tradition of taking things from other
I'm looking at the
countries
chat. I mean, I got a couple of chats.
Give back the Parthenon marbles already. Great British Energy is
I'm out here on YouTube.
set up
What
by
am I
the Labour
doing?
government to invest in renewable energy like solar panels.
I decided
Being a government
to,
company funded by taxpayer
with my
dollars,
time
it
today,
went with the cheapest option, buying from China. Same reason anyone eats McDoubles.
You're such a good multitasker.
loving this kitty. Yeah, I'm a good cat daddy.
Forgetting something?
I'm gonna keep being a great cat fucking daddy.
Okay, with free Grubhub.
Yes.
Buying from China. Same reason anyone eats McDoubles. It's not the only one. In fact, last year, 68% of the solar panels imported by the UK came from China, compared to 61% in 2023, which is problematic for a few reasons. First, the UK's Modern Slavery Act of 2015. It requires businesses to submit a report each fiscal year showing that its supply chains and products do not rely on forced labor. And when China's involved, that's like trying to guarantee a McDouble wasn't made without harming cats.
I have a green crack
Was I hungry
in
when I
the
wrote
crumbles.
this? You bet. See, the thing is, solar
And we're
panels
gonna put
are
a-
made with polysilicon. And up to 50% of the world's supply of polysilicon comes from Xinjiang, with well-documented links between the solar sector
Small one.
and Uyghur slave labor. Essentially, if you want to go green, you got to ignore the red from all the blood on
Maybe
it.
a little bit bigger.
A spokesperson for Great
Not
British
much bigger.
Energy said it would lead the way in ethical supply chains and insisted there was no place for forced labor or unethical practices in the UK's energy transition. So, that's a lie? And now we have a bombshell from Carrie Lake, senior advisor to the U.S. Agency for Global Media. She says that Voice of America managers met with Chinese officials to discuss more favorable coverage for Beijing. I guess they didn't get the memo from YouTube and Google. This is bound to stir up a storm, and not just because Carrie Lake is a controversial figure whose name sounds like the waspiest body of water in Massachusetts. Many U.S. officials, activists, and even media outlets believe that the Trump administration's targeting of VOA would only help authoritarian actors like Russia and China spread their
Kidding me,
propaganda
you.
worldwide.
Is the water
But it
fresh
appears
enough?
that China, at least, had some say over how VOA was covering them. Never
Yes.
underestimate the sheer scale of stupid. On Tuesday night, Lake gave an interview to Just the News, No Noise.
And we found out in our investigations over the months that I've been here that the CCP operating out of the embassy in Washington, D.C., the Chinese embassy, were meeting regularly
I'm sorry.
with VOA management.
I just managed
tell
to
them
spread some
how
wax
they
on the
should be
cat's
covering
back. Yeah, you got
If
green
you wanna
crack
know how
now.
you should be covering China,
You got
I've
green crack
about
smell on you.
2,300 episodes on this channel. You can use as an example. Blake
Ew.
also claimed that at least one VOA official with the Mandarin language edition voiced support for the CCP, and that some VOA managers even flew to China to meet officials there. If you want a free vacation, instead of cozying up to authoritarians, try going on The Price is Right. And remember to spay and neuter your pets. She also said that from 2009 until the end of the Biden administration, VOA used J-1 cultural exchange visas, which are not work visas, to bring hundreds of foreign employees to the U.S. to work for VOA, including over 100 from countries that pose national security concerns to the U.S. Because surely, those are the best people to tell America's story and combat hostile propaganda.
We are getting some
And it
sunlight.
included at least 3 employees from China who once worked for CCP linked state-owned media outlets.
Woo, I'm Anky boy. Let's get fucked up. Let's get fucked up. Let's get fucked up. Let's get fucked up. Yeah, tomorrow it'll feel like we've been hit by a truck, but let's get fucked up.
American farmland, especially near military bases. Been way overdue, I'd say. Speaking of stories that are repeated over and over, you're probably getting sick of, another Chinese spy was caught. An engineer is pleading guilty to stealing trade secret technology designed for missile launch and detection for the Chinese government's behalf. The man is 59-year-old Cheng Guanggong of San Jose, California, and he's a dual Chinese-U.S. national. According to his plea agreement, Gong transferred more than 3,600
Oh.
files to an LA-based R&D company that briefly employed him as a designer of infrared sensors. Some of the files were discovered and seized during a
Oh.
raid on his apartment. The files include blueprints for advanced infrared sensors that can detect nuclear missile launches and track ballistic or hypersonic missiles along with other advanced weapons. Gong was fired in April of 2023, but kept downloading
I use this
over
side for dabs
1,800
and
more
this side for
files
snuff.
after he accepted another job at a rival company, which goes to show how important cybersecurity is, which is why we use... What's that, Shelley? Oh, we don't have a cybersecurity sponsor this week. Well, I don't have anything specific to plug here, but make sure your stuff is safe. Many of these files contain trade secrets and were marked as for official use only or export controlled. But it gets worse. According to the investigation into Gong, law enforcement found that between 2014 and 2022, while being employed with many American tech companies, Gong also submitted many applications to Chinese talent programs. Sounds like he was applying for the worst game show of all time. China's Got America's Talent. And in a 2019 email that was translated from Chinese, Gong remarked that he took a risk by traveling to China to participate in the talent programs because he worked for an American military industry company and thought he could do something to contribute to China's high-end military integrated circuits. Well, it turns out one of his talents wasn't being discreet. He was as good at keeping things on the DL as Astronomer's ex-CEO. Still topical. Gong will be sentenced in the fall and faces a maximum penalty of a decade in prison. For now, he's free on a $1.75 million bond. Man, that could have gotten him so many McDoubles. I think it's time for lunch, which I can't afford without your support. If you really want to become a China expert, click on this button and check out all the deep dives we have exclusively on our website, ChinaUncensored.tv. It's just the price of a bag of coffee.
Tell me, guys, whose YouTuber merch should I buy?
Eating lunch so I can keep working. Covering China has not been good for my health. Click the button. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.
Si están buscando un marco de cama, les tengo este que compré aquí en el TikTok Shop y la verdad que se me hizo súper increíble la calidad. Yo estoy en proceso de mudanza y quería...
Hey everyone, geophysicist Stefan Burns here. Breaking news, there has just been another flurry of high magnitude earthquakes, the strongest of which is this magnitude 6.6, which just ruptured a couple hours ago, and it was extremely deep at 315 kilometers or so. This ruptured right in between Fiji and Samoa. So here we have Fiji, here we have the island of Samoa. Right at the tail end of the subduction zone, we got that to pop off. And this is the latest in a sequence of earthquakes across the Pacific plate. So clearly the Pacific plate has been moving. We also, just about an hour before that, we had a aftershock at Kamchatka, magnitude 6.1. We can see the epicenter of that right there. And that was at 22:37 Universal Time. And what's interesting about this aftershock is that the other earthquakes have been migrating to the south-southwest. So we had this 7.4 on the 20th, and we had the 3 6.6s, we had this 6.3 just a couple days ago, and now the 6.1 has gone the other direction as the earthquake
rock and roll.
This way. Of course, that's not just these magnitude.
You're aboard, kitty.
There was
Yeah.
southwest, and now boom, we get one going
Boom.
to the
Boom, shakalaka.
northeast,
Boom.
back in the direction of Alaska. So we have a lot of hot spots right now.
Boom, shakalaka. I'm sorry you didn't get a fresh breakfast. I'm sorry you got the old spittled up food in your food bowl. Wow. I'm not that sorry.
And that was at a depth of 144.6 kilometers, so another deep earthquake, though this most recent one is about double the depth, a little bit more than
Bye.
that one. And that magnitude 6.3.
What was that? That was a plea for fresh food that I cannot ignore. Okay, Inky. Yes, buddy. Yes, Daddy's here. I'm gonna get you fresh food. Anakin boy, be cute on the internet for me, goddammit. Win me all them YouTube awards or whatever. You damn cuteness. You better make it worth it for me. I'm giving you the food you asked for. I expect you to do your part. That is one cat. That's a hungry kitty. All right. Hungry kitty eats his food. Hungry kitty. You eat and then you poop. He's alive. He's alive. Yeah, buddy, don't choke. Be safe.
And they're in that alignment. So we see that 120-degree angle. Then we also see how the influence there, that moon is going to conjunction. And then because Pluto
After arriving at
right now, we also
Kakdwip,
Pluto opposite
the Ganges had to be traversed. Since a steamer was not available, a small boat was hired. About 8 to 10 could travel together in this boat. Gradually, the boat filled up, then it set sail through the gigantic Ganges and its swirling waves.
and a deep earthquake too. And so I would just think in general that the influence of the planets on our Earth would be able to elicit some of these deeper earthquakes to come up. So we had that magnitude 6.3 that was about 150 kilometers in depth approximately. This is 314.2 kilometers in depth, and that impact zone is right in that area and less than 24 hours after this planetary resonance sequence. So shout out to Richard Cordaro. And we are still in that coronal hole high-speed stream impact, which triggered a G1 geomagnetic storm.
When the boat arrived midstream, the banks could no longer be noticed, and the passengers were naturally scared. Water was merely 1 feet away. Water was merely 1 feet away from the side of the boat. There was cause enough for any city dweller to be alarmed.
Maybe a little super tiny pulse of that. That's typical when you're in these sort of high-speed streams. You may get some fluctuations. It's never a 100% smooth ride. But if we look at a real-time solar wind, we'll see that solar wind density anomaly. So here we have a real-time solar wind as observed at the L1 Lagrange point. This is 1% of the distance from the Earth to the Sun. And so this gives us about
The boat at last reached Kachuberia Ghat, and all heaved a sigh of relief. Saisharan, fearlessly. The world is adoring thee. Yet this is the voice of my say. Adoration to thee remains absent, if homage to thee I do not pay. Thou art my God, O my Master. I am thy humble servant only. I am thy humble servant only. I am thy humble servant only. Worship to thee remains due, if I do not offer it solely. Sri Shachachan Charan Lahiri.
That's a very high density zone of plasma because the high-speed stream causes this plasma pileup. And so we see that our plasma density went up to about 10. Some values higher than 10, like 15 or so. But in general, we got out of this anomalously low, super low density solar wind, which was
Hey, Kate. You're okay? What was that crying about? That's not normal for him to just, unless he's about to hawk up a hairball, or I don't know, maybe he was just asking for soft food. Either way, it's really annoying. I find that tone that he does really annoying. Really can get under my skin if I let it. Burrows into my mind slowly starts fixating it like it clamps down on it.
size here, going down to 0.1. So this is right.
And I'm curious about him, right? Like a healthy curiosity. You know, what's going on with my cat? I wonder what I find if I go look behind the couch. Anki, you okay back there? Rolls those eyes. He could just be bored making sounds like that. I think that's what it was. Yeah. He looked like he was just having a bored complaint. Like he's like, why isn't there a fucking routine around here? I just ate breakfast at noon, Dad. I want breakfast at 6. I'm eating breakfast at noon. What the fuck, Dad? I think that was his like a complaint meow.
Most notably, we can talk about the magnitude 9.1
I'm not the greatest cat daddy.
That was right during a super low density high-speed stream impact, and then also
Might not be the greatest cat daddy. I might not be the perfect cat daddy. Look at me go. Still doing it though.
So the strongest earthquakes, at least of the 21st century, they did have anomalously low density solar winds.
I was named after
in and around that time period,
very violent
eruption.
Viking.
And we're seeing that happen right now. 6.7 Bond to Sea.
I was named after Eric the Red.
7.4 Kamchatka, 6.3 Molucca Sea, and now this 6.6 in between.
Yo, I'd say that to say that to say that to say that. Say. So I put on Stefan Burns, but I also run my mouth on these streams. Is what I do. Remembering, I don't have to be this lie factory. Constipation, diarrhea. What a great day. That dab is great. That freaking great crack. It's good. Jap dough. Peace. Comma peace. Comma peace. Emoji. Peace hand emoji. Well, that's a fun name. Are you from Pakistan? Jap. Got a little dosing pod. Let's see what we got. The lid's a tiny bit dirty. Still, this is passable to me. Still serviceable to me. Here's a bunch of here's the thing. It's a thing with oily and dry burnt herbs in it. It's a steel thimble. It's got like a screen there. It's got my, let's see how oily, yeah, it's oily. Oily. So, I got a bored kitty on my hands. So what do you do? What do you guys do with bored cats? All right, I can put the toothpick down. Slightly stickier toothpick, but we got our metal bits clean enough. Boom. In adoration of the four elements. To represent Earth. Oscar the Grouch, everybody! Yeah! Oscar the Grouch! Out there on Sesame Street every day, every night. He lives on the street. He's holding that street down. Do you know what the street is? It's all the jewels. It's perception. He possesses perception of the five senses. What? Oh, yeah. The earth. Please forgive me as I walk upon you. Thank you for holding me. Oscar the Grouch. Stepping on. The water chakra is next up, represented by the blue Cookie Monster. Cookie, 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 give me cookie. Give me, you have cookie? Our second chakra, water chakra, pleasure center, which we have to spend a lot of time negotiating with, probably, right? Cookie Monster is a good representation, I think, if you think about it. It's always wanting the cookies. And it's kind of monstrous, these compulsions, if we don't handle it the right way. This is Gauri Shankar. Gauri Shankar, everybody. Hello. Welcome, Gauri Shankar. Welcome, Gauri Shankar. It takes two. It takes two. It takes Cookie and his cookies. It takes Cookie Monster and his cookies, right? Second chakra. It takes two. Gauri Shankar. I am both male and female. We worship this. Flow of time. Third chakra. Well, adventure awaits. We have senses. We have the creation of ourselves, like. We have an adventure before us. Kermit the Frog is always singing about his adventure. He's always looking over the lake with his guitar, you know. He's looking over that lake. This is where we get our sense of I am. That lake is like your pool of karma. You got third chakra. Kermit the Frog. High adventure. Will you say hi to adventure? Will you expand? Am I ready to commune fully with nature? Let the body keeps the score, right? Let the body lead the way. It's already leading the way. You don't have to think the way. So it's not an appearances. So Kermit sings a song at the end of a day, right? He's made the day new in his mind again. Right? As he's going through it. Maybe he's choosing different things a little bit. Maybe he's choosing differently in his, yeah. Anyway, reflecting. And that third chakra is where you get to reflect. I am a child of God. Or I am God. Anyway, and then, so that's what I think about. I think about Kermit. And then the heart, I think about Big Bird, but I first think about his feet, his big ass feet, walking to the city like he did in his first movie. And I think about the city, this complex. So Big Bird in the heart is this meeting. It's this complex meeting, the lower and the upper. It's this unfolding that we have to seek into. We have to, those big feet have got to move. We got to take the steps. Anyway, and of course the big bright bird in the heart, that's just big-hearted, big bird fits to me. Yeah, Big Bird, he conquers the city. I'm saying conquered, I'm using my words intentionally. He conquers the city with a smile, with laughter, with friendship, with brotherhood, sisterhood, with community. You know, he's beyond adventure. He is the adventure plus. Yeah, we had the Kermit sing a full song in the third chakra. We got ourselves hyped. We moved to the city. We took the Big Bird journey where we just learned things that you don't find in a textbook. That's what the heart is. It's not in the textbook. Oh my God, people miss it in their thinkings. With great love and gratitude, I remember my teachers. coming to the throat. What was his name? That taught the guy that taught the kids. He wasn't a puppet. Mr. Cooper. It was Mr. Cooper, Mr. I think it was Mr. Cooper. Or something that sounded like Cooper. Anyway, he was a teacher. Throat chakra is your air, is your void chakra. It's the wisdom. It's the wisdom of all that came before it. It's this other kind of reflection, right? It's this much on a whole deeper level. You know, it's a different kind of, yeah. So, because after that, there's a void within the void, right? There's the wisdom bearer himself, the Muladhara. I think about Snuffleupagus, right? Because he came out of Big Bird's imagination. Big Bird was always that had that spark. And Snuffleupagus was wise. So yeah, anyway, the upper chakra is about wisdom. So putting the pieces back together. Pick a bigger one this time. Who's with me? Anybody dosing it? Getting it a little cool with the cannabis? Oh, I'm flooding it. Oh, shit. Oh, it's massive. He's going massive. Might be too much. Yeah, no, that's way too much. I had it overfilled with herb. Oh, you guys, what am I gonna do now? It's already in there. I gotta take it out. My eyes are not that good. I wasn't looking as closely as I needed to. That sucks. Anyway, what else do I do with my day? Resonance, 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 resonance.
On my Patreon, I do these satsangs. I do them twice a month, and they go for approximately 2 hours, and it's just mostly me just answering question after question after question after question. And on our last satsang, we had another testimony about Navi Kriya. I mean, it just blows my mind. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how the Navi is working. And this is such a fantastic recipe for anybody that has any experience of any kind of fear in their life. That means anxiety, that means night terrors, that means experiences in meditation which scare you, that means scary dreams, all of that. It works for all of that. It's such an amazing technique. So, let's get into it.
What do we do in this channel? We do Navi, guys. Love the Navi.
You know, Kriya is so amazing to me. It works, obviously. I know it works. I mean, I've spent my whole life with Kriya. But this kind of testimony about Navi, how profoundly it works, how well it works, even when the problem is very, very big, it just continues to blow my mind. It really, really amazes me. This is not the first testimony. This is about the third or fourth testimony of somebody who had extreme experiences of night terrors their entire life from childhood. And this is the only thing that actually helped them in their entire life. How often do you get to say that? This is the only thing that actually worked. Oh my God, how huge is that? When we are born, it's kind of a brain lottery. Not everybody knows this. It's a brain, can you imagine a brain lottery? Isn't that funny? So you don't know exactly how your brain is going to be formed. And some of us have deeper access to one part of the brain or another. And that can give you deeper access, for example, to the right amygdala of fear. Or maybe you have a really big experience in your childhood and it really drives you into fear and you have more access to that part of your brain. Or maybe you just build up anxiety in your life and you have more experience with that right amygdala in your brain. So first of all, you're not alone. I have heard from multiple yogis about night terrors specifically. I have a yogi that had deep access to the right brain, and along with that came a lot of fearful experience. So he's having lots of shamanic experiences with dark feelings, dark entities. All of his life, same thing. The Navi worked. The Navi brought it under control when nothing else would. That blew me away. I've heard from hundreds of yogis
Let's
about
practice.
anxiety that it was a marked reduction when they introduced Navi. And I'm not even sure how much they're doing. So if you're doing it once a day and it brings it down this much, what if you do it 2 or 3 times a day? What's going to happen then? 2-3 rounds of Navi every single day, really getting into the technique, really feeling your mind in the third chakra, really owning into that place. What is that going to do? What's going to help even more is it? Now, it's not a one and done technique. You don't just do it, oh, I'm fixed. No. It's something that you repeat over and over again. But these yogis who told me, look, I grew up with night terrors, I've experienced this kind of fear my entire life, the Navi began to work not the actual part of the technique. This is not the driver, okay? This is just to help my mind, to put my mind on the third chakra. So I'm going to put my thumbs into the belly button or slightly above. Where's the actual location of the third chakra? Where do you feel the cold pit of fear in your stomach? That is the actual location of the third chakra. So we can debate, this book says here, this lineage says here, this one says Dantian. Where do you feel the cold pit of fear in your stomach? That is the actual location of the third chakra. That's what we're going to press on. It's approximately your belly button. This is close enough. You might feel it slightly above. Perfect. Put your thumbs there. And then I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to do it mentally. If you want to start out loud and that helps you, fantastic. Go ahead and do it out loud to start. And then at some point you might transition into a mental O. And we're going to put that O into that chakra from the front coming in. And to help my mind to get the idea that it's from the front coming in, I'm going to press with each O. So it looks like this. O, 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 O. And I'm going to say those O's mentally. And you can see I'm not joining this with my breath. And I'm not making huge long O's and taking forever in this Navi. You can do that. That would be an okay way to do it. But you don't need to do it that way. You just do the O's fairly rapidly. Om, 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 Om. Wonderful. You do that 100 times, and then you flip your head backwards very gently. We don't want any whiplash here. Just very gently put the head backwards as far as is comfortable. And the feeling that I get, which is a very good feeling, the feeling is that the sensation is dripping down the back of my spine. And that's the dorsal vagal activation that I'm feeling. It feels like a cool little wave going down the back of my spine. That's something to kind of get a picture of why we're doing that. You don't have to feel that. You don't need to imagine anything. All of this technique, it's not imagining, it is feeling. Feeling is what puts you into the correct part of your brain to do this technique. And Kriya, by the way, Kriya is not visualization, okay? So I put my head back, I put my fingers together, and I'm gonna tap the back of my spine directly behind my belly button, and I do it like this. Om, 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 Om. So each time I'm oming, mentally, I'm tapping. And I do that 25 times. So it's 4 in the front, 1 in the back. 100 in the front, and then 25 in the back. And then if you want to do it again, do it again. 100 in the front, 25 in the back. And that is Navi. 100 in the front, 25 in the back, that's 1 round of Navi. If you have a lot of fear coming up, a lot of anxiety, things are happening in your life, and you want to reduce that, you want to get a handle on that, start this right away. See what it does to you. Don't look for instant results, but about a week, you're going to notice a dramatic reduction. And when you're going through it in life, wouldn't you like to have a reduction of fear? Wouldn't you like to have, the whole world is overwhelmed with anxiety. Everybody needs this technique, but you have it. So I've given you the football. Oh my God, I have a football. What should I, run with the football. So 100 in the front, 25 in the back, that's 1 round. You can do more than 1 round a day. So why is this working? Well, you have a brain, and to understand what's in it, what is happening with life, we project those feelings, those limbic feelings, we project them down through the central nervous system, and they show up in different places. We have love in the heart. We have hurt in the heart. We have words stuck in the throat. We have feelings of desire in the 2nd chakra, and we have fear in the 3rd chakra. That's the fear. reason, is projected right there into the third chakra. So when you own into that, you disrupt it, right? You are disconnecting the way that that projection flows into your body. And so you're turning it off momentarily. And when you turn it off and you feel free, you get that learning. Oh, it was all based on something else. I thought it was real. It's not. It feels so real. It's not. Okay, I can hear that, but how do I prove that? Navi. Navi is the thing that proves it to you. You disconnect it, and suddenly the fear is gone. My God, it was so real. It was so here, and suddenly it's not. And I get that learning. Over time, I get this learning that I'm actually above these things. They don't control me. I am sovereign. I am in charge. I am above these things. That's the learning. That's the full learning of Kriya. And not once, but over and over and over and over again, we learn that I am above these things. And I thought I was so mixed up in them, but I'm not. I'm above them. I am sovereign. Oh my God, amazing, right? What an incredible thing. And this is why the Kriya says, look, this fear thing, this is kind of big. I think we should put the Navi right here at the front of all of the meditation practices. We just stick it there in the front and get over the fear numero uno right away from the get-go. Let's just punch that out of the way. That is the Navi rationale. Amazing technique. I know it works. It's worked in my life. I see it over and over again. And still, these testimonies, they still blow my mind. Just amazing. And so why wouldn't I put this into my life somewhere? 5 minutes? Hey, I got to overcome all fear. There's a verse in the Bible. What could you accomplish if you had no fear? What would happen to your life if you had no fear? And so, of course, we're probably not going to overcome every single fear instantly, right? But oh my God, what if you can reduce it way down? What's going to happen to your life? What would happen to your life if you knew you could accomplish anything, if you had no fear? Here's another thing. What negative emotions could you entertain if you had zero fear? Zero fear. None. Can you entertain all those negative emotions? Can you entertain all those doubts about yourself if you had no fear? What is this unleashing inside of you? It's kind of amazing to ask that question and to wonder, I'm doing this thing, I'm getting over fear. What is that going to unleash in my life? Yeah, that's kind of amazing, right? So definitely something to plug into your life, put in your back pocket, see what it does for you.
If you practice it a couple of times a day, you get a lot quicker. It doesn't take as long as that just took. And after I finished my Navi, I felt compelled to do this mudra here, which is bringing my mind to the back of the head and just listening and chanting Om, kind of chanting Om here and just listening here, just listening. And I did that until it's like I could understand, okay, I'm listening, different part of your brain, anyway, it feels so. And then I did just bringing myself out in this room, but yeah, I'm even when I'm not projecting, I should be listening. So yeah, I do that I throw that training on top of after a Navi session a lot of times. So I remember to listen. And also we do everything we can to anchor and the medulla. I don't think anchor's the word I'm really wanting to say there, but please practice Navi Kriya if you have any need to eradicate fear from your life. You'll be able to entertain all negative emotions. Personal experience. I know. I have suffered with bad anxiety, panic attacks. Do I get panic attacks anymore? Anxiety attacks? I'm getting a little bit of anxiety attacks sometimes, but nowhere near like I used to. Just because I keep up I just do Navi enough to ward off the panic attacks. That's all I really care about. Like, it's kind of silly. I should do it a lot more. I will start doing it more. I recognize now. It's like this, yeah. I want to. It's a simple truth that I want to adapt myself into. I want to adapt myself into constant fearless state. Yes, fearless yogi we are. Takes time, I guess. That's actually should come as that's not like I know something, right? Like I know yeah. It's gonna I'd be honored to teach you Navi. Or just go to Forrest Knudsen. I know I'm just talking to myself out here. Can you believe that though? Can you believe it exists like that? And that it works like that? Like, I think about my mom, I'm like, why aren't you taking herbs to help with your, why aren't you letting your friends know about your condition? That, like, why aren't you using your assets? But we all have these blind spots and we all have our conditioning, right? But we could see other people's blind spots. What if fear was a no factor? Navi really exists. It's a fucking 4 minutes out of your day. Oh my God. Why don't I do it twice a day? I've been doing good. No. I've not been doing good. I really got sacked. Not practicing Navi. So now I do practice Navi and I do not get sacked. And I am much, there's no word for it. It's not just an emotion. It's my life now. I'm happy. I love how bulletproof I am too. Like how people just can't take me anymore. I love how bulletproof Navi makes me. I just can't be drawn into the negative emotions because I'm just aware. Well, plus the Kriya, I'm saying it's really the Kriya. We practice meditation. It's like meditation, sitting still. What people understand about the West, what Western people understand about meditation, is we can put it in this context, like it's a gate, right? People have these notions, these general notions that it's going to improve their mental well-being, But I'm saying let's get specific. You know, the whole thing is going to change. You just need to update your definitions.